So today in Jamie Lynn Spears' cringe news, a new clip of her new reality show Special Forces has been released. And in this clip, which honestly kind of looks like a hostage video to me, Jamie Lynn once again complains about being Britney Spears' sister. And then says that she's doing this show because she wants to prove to the world that she's worth something.
Growing up, my sister became worldwide famous. I guess I just want to feel like I'm just worth something.
I'm being tested right now. Ooh. I want to try to be kind here, but this is definitely testing my patience, and I want to explain why. We've talked about Jamie Lynn Spears before, and whenever we do, it's very frustrating for me. And part of the reason that is because it would be very unfair of me to say that Jamie Lynn Spears has not been through everything. I cannot in good conscience sit here and talk about how horrible Britney Spears' parents have allegedly been to her, with taking away her human rights and allegedly trafficking her for years against her will, all those types of things. And ignore the fact that Jamie Lynn Spears shares these parents, that they came from the same family. So there's got to be some issues there, and I am sympathetic to that. Not to mention that now both Jamie Lynn and Britney have alleged that their mother was physically abusive towards them. Also, Jamie Lynn Spears becoming pregnant at the age of 16 in front of the entire world. This stuff is difficult, and I am not trying to minimize the things that she's been through whatsoever. But what I am going to say is that I have really had enough of this Jamie Lynn Spears Feel Sorry for Me tour. This tour has had multiple legs. It's been going on for years. It needs to stop. She needs some new material. This is just getting ridiculous. Especially when this sympathy tour has brought to light so many lies, and not to mention just the ridiculousness of some of the things that she's said. For example, she has been vocal that she had nothing to do with the conservatorship and that it didn't benefit her one way or the other. However,
because I have nothing to gain or lose either way. This situation does not affect me. I mean, I've worked since I was 9 years old. I've paid my own freaking bills since I was 10 years old.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying?
We also know there was a point that Jamie Lynn was appointed the trustee of Britney's estate. Then she puts out her book, which is supposed to be all about her and her struggle and her life story, except she says Britney's name 315 times. Guys, this book is 240 pages. And I guess in those 315 times, it ticked off Britney because she has publicly stated that Jamie Lynn lied about her in this book. Then Jamie Lynn goes and does her book tour, which, and I mean, this is kind of, I don't have confirmed things on this, but it's kind of like a looks like a duck type situation. Jamie Lynn does her book interview allegedly in Lou Taylor's house, wearing her clothes. And now she's doing a reality show trying to prove to the world that she is more than being Britney Spears' sister. All you've been trying to do is remind us that you're Britney Spears' sister, and now you went on a reality show to cry about it?
Stop it. Get some help.
I try to be compassionate towards Jamie Lynn, but sometimes it's just really, really hard. And the more that I've been thinking about this, the more I've had another famous family pop into my head with a famous younger sister. And I think about the way that she handled this and fame and her career. And not only that, but how she pursued show business. But she did it on her own terms, and she did it in a unique manner that didn't depend on her last name. And that person is Janet. And the funny thing is everyone knows who I'm talking about, but I haven't said her last name. You just know because it's Janet. And Janet has talked about feeling the pressure of coming from a famous family, but also wanting to have her own identity and focusing on her craft, which she did, and I think she's done very successfully. She fought to take control of her career, literally, and she was able to do that and pave a road for herself without having to rely on her brother's names. So it's really sad that Jamie Lynn Spears is doing this. I really wish she would just stop and focus on herself. Because honestly, I think sometimes she is making this harder on herself, and I, for one, have had enough of the pity party. We have more updates about the conservatorship, but before we get into that, I did just want to say a big thank you to our sponsor today, FREEZO. FREEZO is a naturally flavored blended iced coffee beverage, and you use it by taking the powder from the package that comes in FREEZO. You mix it with the milk of your choice as well as ice, and you make your own amazing frap from home. I have been living on this stuff for months. I adore it, and that's part of why I really wanted to share it with you guys. So this morning I made my FREEZO and I decided to switch it up a bit, and I actually added in some caramel sauce in there. So I made myself a caramel frap, and oh my gosh, it is so good. It is so, so, so good. I cannot. If you love iced coffee or fraps, you need this in your life. If you're interested in trying FREEZO, you can use the links in my description. You can also use my code ItsKim10 for 10% off. And thank you so much to everybody who has ordered using that code. And thank you for leaving comments on the last video saying that you loved it and that you are so enjoying it. I'm so glad you are. I hope you continue to do so. FREEZO has been such a lifesaver for me over the past 6 months, and I really, really do genuinely love this product, and I'm so glad you guys are too. And thank you again to FREEZO for your support. In Britney conservatorship news, she finally got a win! Britney is no longer going to be responsible for having to pay Jamie Spears' legal fees. So for those of you keeping score, Britney will no longer have to pay for Jamie Spears' legal fees or her mother Lynn Spears' legal fees. I really don't understand why this family thinks that Britney is a legal fund piggy bank, but I'm glad that the court is starting to see the freeloading that's going on here and they're putting a stop to it. And I'm very happy that Britney got this win because, like clockwork, the press continues to be trash. It was announced this week that there is a new documentary coming from Discovery Plus that is going to focus on the relationship between Britney Spears, her father, and the conservatorship. This is gross.
Disgusting!
Like, honestly, I'm kind of looking at this and I'm going, Discovery Plus, you kind of missed the boat on the whole, like, Britney documentary thing. I don't understand why you're coming so late to this party. Like, did you just watch Netflix and Hulu and go, like, we want to get a piece of that, or what? Or was it after the 60 Minutes interview and Discovery Plus was just like, this is horrible and disgusting, but hold my beer? I mean, why not exploit Britney more? Even after she's been so vocal about her disdain for these documentaries and has been dragging them every chance she gets. I've watched the other documentaries, and honestly, I did so, and I felt very conflicted about it. I felt icky. I didn't like it. But this one, I'm sorry, I'm boycotting this. I don't care. This is disgusting. I can't handle it. It's just not okay. It's ridiculous to make a whole documentary about the abuse that somebody has been through when they are still fighting for justice from that. It's just absolutely ridiculous and gross, and it's not cute, Discovery. It is not a cute look. I'm not having it. You suck, Discovery Plus. Not impressed. Well, that's about it. I'm hoping to be back next week with some holiday content. I am working on a new hyper-focus obsession. We're going to have a couple of Christmas moments. It's going to be very festive. And if you have any guesses about what that hyper-focus could be, please put them in the comments below because I did just give you a hint. And I'm going to be trying to do some different content, just moving forward, a little bit separate from Britney, but really leaning more into the pop culture obsessions idea. And I really hope you guys will support me through that. Well, that's it. Much love. Bye.